in this week's episode of the reflection series Living My Dream Tokyo 2020, which was made possible by the National Lotteries Commission. We profile Paralympian Ntando Mahlangu, who shares with us some of the highlights of the long jump and his track performance. Bianca, Buitendag, who competed in the very first Olympic surfing competition and won silver. Sheryl, the Paralympian, who won bronze in the 400-meter race and overcame huge challenges.
Well, my life before and after the games has changed, in a way of it's been exciting, it's been busy, it's been something to look out for. Every day I wake up and I know that I have something on, or I wake up and I realize what I've done, as an individual and also for the country. So it's been an exciting year. I think the long jump in whole was just one of the most beautiful events I've seen in my life. Not only myself jumping there, but with the other guys having to jump there. It was incredible, to be part of something like that. But the last jump is probably one of my best jumps also. Well, I think second best jumps, because the first one was also a big jump for myself, jumping for the first time over 7 meters. And then having to end it like that, I think was very special for me. But it was very emotional for me, not only because I was getting a gold medal or I broke the world record, but just, for me to come back. I'm a fighter, and for me, to be able to show that on my last jump, it was very, it was excitement actually. It was tears of joy. But I definitely enjoyed it, man. It was nice being there, and having to see the people that were supporting me, my teammates, and also the other guys that were jumping with me. So yeah, it was a great event. I was definitely happy with my lane. I think the most, what I was not happy with was the weather on the day. I think, the weather didn't play with us. It was rainy, it was very wet. Going into the start, it was really tricky because I was slipping. It was slippery, so that's why I had a bad start. I had to make a big decision there. If I was going to go full out, or I was going to make sure that I finish the bend and then I can execute on the 100. But knowing my coach, we were going for faster times, and that was definitely not the plan. But I had to adjust, which was the biggest decision I had to make at that time, because do I adjust and I lose the whole race, or do I adjust and get the gold medal? So I had to make that decision, but I'm happy with the decision that I made. We cannot change the conditions. I think you take what you have and you use it to the fullest, and that's what we did. All of the athletes. So yeah, I was definitely happy with my lane. I would have loved sunnier or very hot Japan weather, but we got what we got, and we made the best of what we had. Yeah. I think it's about finding yourself as a person, what you stand for, and what you want to achieve over a certain period of time. And also has to do with the people in my surrounding. I have a very great team, and that has, when I talk about team, I talk about family, I talk about my coach, and I talk about everyone. Even my roommate is my teammate. I have to say that all of that, all those, the 2 gold medals and everything, making sure that I jump well, I think it's a team approach. It's not me alone. Obviously, I have to be there, but all of the other things, definitely the credit has to go to the team. It's been well to be part of the NLC team. I think it gave me an opportunity to go to the Paralympics. It gave me an opportunity to come to training and to be able to train during the difficult times. The NLC supported us financially and also in many ways. So yeah, definitely having someone like that besides you, it's very important. And I'm grateful for the NLC for what they do, not only for me but what they do for the sport. It's something very amazing, and yeah, I'm honored. Well, the sport does a lot for the sport. I think for what they've been doing, the support they've been giving us from last year till now. And also, I think, like I said earlier on, it's one of the things that made it possible for us to come to training during the difficult times they were with us. So, we definitely appreciate, the love and the support from the Sport Trust. And, we wish that we can build this relationship on and, and continue having this relationship with the Sport Trust. To the South African public, I would say that, COVID has been tough. Everything has been tough from last year. But, I hope that, what I did back in Tokyo can unite us and make us one. Because, we as South Africans, when we get together and we unite, we are very stronger than all the other nations out there. And I hope that, my long jump and my 200 meter motivated a lot of people.
We are in the beautiful beach of Victoria Bay. It's a quaint little town close to George in the Garden Route. Vic Bay is important to me because I've spent most of my childhood here. I have very fond memories of growing up here and surfing and just the community and what this place has molded me to become. It made a huge difference and played an important role in my upbringing. Surfing was included in the Olympic Games for the first time. So even with that announcement, my whole world of possibilities just broadened. I made sure my preparation was the best I've ever prepared for an event, and the rest that was outside of my control, I wasn't too concerned about. My coach and I actually arrived 2 days before our venue opened, so we were roaming around the village for the entire day. We just eyes were like this big, just wandering around thinking, how is this even possible that we're here? The first thing I did was try and pinch myself because I couldn't believe that I was there. I mean, it was great. The experience, whether I did well or not, would have been something I would never forget. I really feel like God had a plan in Tokyo, and I don't think He cares much about medals or silverware. I think that He's just so interested in each and every one of our lives. I am very much ready for the next chapter of my life. Sport is great. I wouldn't take anything away from the last 10 years, but you reach a point where chasing scores and events and your heart moves on, and you really need to be honest with yourself and take that step of faith, because everything gets left behind. So it is quite difficult to move on, but it really is the time. I'm completely convinced. I'm just extremely grateful. There's no other way to put it for the support that the National Lotteries Commission and the Sports Trust has given us, and these amazing gifts that they've entrusted to us. It's just, I think, if they had to understand how hard and lonely a life of an athlete is up until you reach a point of success, they would know to what depth we appreciate their support. So thank you so much, and thanks to that I can pay it forward like they've paid it forward. So I'm hoping to touch the lives of many with what they've granted.
So I ran my first 400 meters at the beginning of 2019 with some of the kids from the local high school. So it was my first 400 meter, and my coach, who had only been working with me for a few months then, had told me to run recklessly, which I love the idea, just go all out and see what happens. And yes, I started here at the 400 meter and went around the bend, went through the straight, and I was floating on air, and then I hit the 300 mark. I don't know, something just happened. It was like the muscles in my leg just didn't work, and I took a somersault and ended up on my face and had to get up and took a few strides and fell again. And I mean, you could hear the crowd, you could hear the people just hold their breath, and I knew my parents were in the crowd, and I knew they were going to go, "Ugh," but yeah, I got up and I finished the race. I remember my first comrades, and when you speak to my parents about my first comrades, it's quite a traumatic experience for them, because I went into the race with an injury, and towards the end of the race, I had run out of time. And so I ended up, at one point, my parents had seen me and they wanted me to stop, and I told them no, I couldn't. And I just left them behind and carried on. So they were waiting for me at the finish, and I never crossed the finish line. I ended up getting a bus drive to the finish at the Comrades. So I'd had that experience before. So when I ran the 400 meters and I fell again, I was like, well, I know I have to just get up again and do what I do and carry on running.
My first concern was, how badly did she fall? So it was for her safety. And once we established that only her dignity was hurt, which was fine. And then, we realized that, she was running against able-bodied people. And so we just realized that this was just another challenge. And it was a technicality, but it was frightening to see her fall. And if you look at video footage of her fall in Saja, where she really fell really hard, 2 meters from the line, got up and got silver medal. It was just another challenge, which she has overcome.
Hearing that I couldn't take my team, my family with me to Tokyo, for them to enjoy the experience with me, for me to be able to share the experience with them, it was quite disappointing. I would have loved to share it with them. They've been a big part of it, and they make a big difference when you are together and when they are with you, and they can see when something is off, and it just makes things that much easier. In the last stretch of my 400, my legs were dead. There were no legs left, so I was really just trying to stay on my feet and not fall on my face. But yes, it was a relief to know that I will probably be on the podium. Standing on the podium with a medal around my neck, I was just thankful to be part of this incredible moment.
It's difficult to really put in to words, to really articulate what one is feeling. The obvious words to use are one is immensely proud, and when one is amazed to see her at this part of her journey.
My message to the Sports Trust is thank you very much for everything that you are doing. You are definitely making an impact in people's lives.
The Sports Trust acts as an implementation partner to their trustees, partners and corporate donors, and were instrumental in delivering the Living My Dream campaign on behalf of the National Lotteries Commission.